So we're making a courgette curry today, and what you need for that is fairly simple. I've got 3 courgettes that I've just cut up into small chunks, 2 onions sliced, 3 chilies chopped up. I've left them quite big pieces. They will kind of shrink a little bit when they cook. 3 potatoes, again cut up into small chunks, roughly the same size as a courgette. A tin of chopped tomatoes, and then obviously we've got our herbs and spices. So I've got a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of crushed chilies, half a teaspoon of cumin seeds. You can use cumin powder if you want. Small pinch of Nigella Seeds, that is optional, it does add to the flavour, but you don't have to add it if you don't want. A teaspoon of ground coriander, a teaspoon of Garam Masala, half a teaspoon of turmeric, and a teaspoon of chili powder. So that's the ingredients that you need. I've got about half a cup of oil for the cooking, and that's all the ingredients that you need. Okay, so first thing that I've done is added the oil, let it heat up, and then thrown in the onions, the cumin seeds and the Nigella seeds. You're just going to stir that around. You're going to let the onions brown a little, and then add in the other ingredients. So onions have gone in, Nigella seeds and cumin seeds are in, let it brown, and then add your next ingredients. Right, so it's been about 5 minutes, and as you can see the onions slightly beginning to brown, so I'm just going to wait till it gets a little bit darker. If you're short on time, or you just want to do it a little bit quicker, you can add all your ingredients and everything in at once. Just bung it all in at once, and it takes about half an hour just to cook through. However, this way is a little bit more authentic and obviously traditional in terms of how we've done it. It also allows the flavours to develop a little bit more, because you've got an onion base with your tomatoes in a minute. So we're going to see that its onions are beginning to brown a little bit, and once they've got to that brownish stage, so as you can see some of the onions beginning to brown up now, what you're going to do is just add your your chopped tomato tin. So you can use fresh tomatoes, but again, just to make it a little bit easier, we just use tin tomatoes. That goes in, give it a stir, and then you're just going to give it another 5 or so minutes just for the masala base to kind of develop before you put your other ingredients in. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes, and what you're looking for is get to the point where the oil begins to separate and the chopped tomatoes have slightly dried a little bit to make a bit more of a thicker masala type base. Once you get to this point, you're ready to throw in all the other ingredients. So I've thrown in everything together now, so all the remaining ingredients and herbs and spices. Just going to give it a good stir till everything's kind of blended in, and then you're going to put a lid on it and just let it cook through. So it's been about another 2 or 3 minutes. What I've done is I've taken the heat down. It's gone from a high heat to quite a low heat. Stirred in all my ingredients, make sure everything's mixed in well together. Turn the heat down, and you just want it to kind of cook through now. So once it gets to this stage, so about 3 minutes or so after you've put everything in and stirred it all together, you're just going to put a lid on it, and you're going to kind of let it cook through. That should take about 5 minutes or so, but I'll come back and show you what it looks like once it's done. Don't forget to occasionally just take the lid off and give the curry a bit of a stir. So it's important you just give it a little bit of a stir. If it is getting a little bit dry or it's sticking to the bottom of your pot, then just you can add a splash of water just to kind of help cook everything through. Make sure that your lid goes back on. Give it another 2 or 3 minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 to 7 minutes, and what you're looking for is the point where the oil, as you can see, is beginning to separate. And what you want to do is just get one of your potatoes and you just give it a squeeze against the side, and you can see that they're fairly soft now and they're easy to break. Same with the courgettes. When you get to this point, what you want to do is just turn the heat up back to a high and just give it a stir and leave it on a high heat for about 5 minutes, just so that the remaining water just kind of separates and evaporates away. So final stage now, last 5 minutes on a high heat, Make sure you're stirring it regularly, and then it'll be done. Okay, so 5 minutes up, I've turned it off, and the curry is done. It's important in them 5 minutes that you're stirring it regularly, otherwise it will stick to the bottom of the pan and burn. Best eaten with boiled rice. We normally eat it with rotis or chapattis, naans, pita breads. You can eat it with whatever you want. It does go really nice with some boiled rice and a little bit of a yogurt or raita bit on top. But that's the curry done. So courgette curry done. Took about 40-45 minutes. Hope you enjoy. See you again next time.